Can I just take a picture? I'll just be 1 second. Thank you. Hey Sass Squad, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to be running a level 51 Purified Nidorina in the Great League. So essentially, I'm running the exact same team. Now I'm kicking off Nidorino, and I'm going to put Nidorina on this line. Let us jump into these battles. All right, so in this very first battle, we do actually face an opponent running Shadow Zapdos. I don't even remember the last time I've seen a Shadow Zapdos in Great League, so props to this trainer. I mean, Shadow Zapdos definitely is very strong, but I feel like with the rise of the Stunfisk and all that, you know, just feel like I haven't seen it much. But anyways, we have ourselves a pretty decent lead, honestly. I mean, we could take a Drill Peck. We are going to be able to just kind of threaten the shield, or are they just going to let Zapdos? I'm pretty sure they just let it go here. And there goes bye-bye Zapdos. And what do we have next? It's actually been a day or two since I've done these battles. This is actually the very first set I did with this team. I usually like to share my very first impressions trying out a team. So yeah, here I'm actually going to switch into Nidorina, and they end up bringing in the Swampert. So I'm going to use Return, and they do not shield. That's crazy how much damage it actually does. But it is a Shadow Swampert, so I guess we should expect to take a lot of damage. But yeah, Scrafty is going to clean up here, so I think they just top left, so GG. Yeah, so the Nidoqueen plus Scrafty core is so strong that I've just been doing variant of the team I built earlier this season. Cofagrigus is actually pretty decent for a lead when you're running Dark Pulse. It does pretty decent against Jellicent and Trevenant. Obviously, it's going to come down to baiting, like predicting correctly with the bait slash nuke, but we do get a Stunfisk here, and not a horrible lead for Coffin. Again, it always comes down to the shield, but they do make a great call and they catch the move with Mandibuzz. I think they actually used Rock Slide also, if I remember correctly, and I shielded that. So we're actually kind of in a bad position, even though this is a good matchup for us. Just because like little plays like that, they're not entirely detrimental to the match, but you'll kind of see what I mean. I think I remember this match because this is the second battle, and I was actually sitting out. This is like right before I clocked into work. I was kind of distracted, but like you'll kind of see like our opponent makes some really great sneaky plays that just kind of cost me. Like here, for example, this isn't necessarily that big of a deal, but I should have at least thrown Poison Fang just to get a defense drop. But yeah, so I'm gonna bring in Cofagrigus here on the Swampert. Swampert's actually pretty threatening to this line whenever we are in a scenario like this where they have shields and we have nothing. So yeah, this is kind of bad because we actually kind of like, I feel like we should have just brought in Scrafty to begin with in that situation. Like instead of bringing in Cofagrigus, we should have just Power Up Punch and brought in Scrafty. But to be fair, it would have been really bad still anyways. So yeah, GG's. We just get destroyed by that Swampert in that battle. But in our next match, we do get a Talonflame lead. Again, this isn't terrible. But just real quick, like, this team can beat Swamperts. Like, it's just, if we get outplayed by the bait also, we're going to struggle with the Swampert, that's for sure. But anyways, yeah, like, in this scenario too, I'm just going to kind of, I assumed it would be Flame Charge, but it ended up being Brave Bird. Completely demolished my Cofagrigus. So I'm just going to bring in Scrafty, and I'm like, well, this is a pretty good matchup for us. At least we can, like, Power Punch once. And I think I might just go for a complete farm down here and save all of the energy. And that's pretty good because we'll be threatening 2 boosted foul plays, and they only have 1 shield left. And yeah, I can commit 1 shield here. That would be quite okay. We have such an energy lead on Scrafty. Talonflame is not necessarily a problem now, because double foul play will kill if they shield once with Talonflame. So yeah, will they shield? I think they actually do. And oh no, they don't shield that, and we actually just farm it down. It's a good call. And here I end up just throwing a foul play, but I think after I throw this foul play, I switch into Nidorina. Oh no, I have double here as well. So yeah, I guess I just decided to expel all my energy, and I'm gonna farm down with Poison Sting. So GG. So far, this is the very first set I did. This is on my 10-minute break at work. I actually took a little bit longer just so I could do all 3 battles, but yeah, after I lost that battle to the Swampert, I just couldn't stop thinking about that battle. Like I know I could like pull off the win, you know, I just kind of misplayed that entire match. Like the biggest misplay for sure being, like there's a bunch of little misplays, but you know how sometimes it just racks up and then you make the ultimate misplay. Bruh. But yeah, in this match, they end up trying to, we had like the Coffin versus Swampert, and they end up bringing Gramble, and I trap it with Nidorina. And they actually bring in Skarmory here, and interesting choice. Obviously, it's going to wall us. One of the biggest issues with running Nidorina versus Nidoqueen is that you really can't hit the Steel types and the Ghost types for any real damage. But yeah, it makes sense why they brought it in there, but I also saw this as pretty good for us because Scrafty can actually do relatively decent against Skarmory, and we can tank a Hydro Cannon for sure from Swampert if we needed to, and we're pretty much going to be racking up our damage just with Power Up Punch. So this is even better that they switched out, in my opinion, because yeah, it's really just a matter of getting up to play. I mean, it's just chip damage pretty much this match. They don't even shield that, which...
Execute Order 66.
I don't know what was going on there. All right, so in this next one, though, we do get an Altaria lead, and yeah, this is not the best, but if we can get some shields here or get damage, obviously, we're just going to stay in. We don't want to switch out in this type of situation. Nidorina has a pretty decent matchup against Altaria, but again, we're going to have to just kind of see what we can get accomplished here with Cofagrigus. So yeah, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this, you should totally consider liking, commenting, subscribing. Giving a like to this video will help boost my video in the YouTube algorithm, and it would help more people find my channel. So I'd really appreciate it if you could just hit that like button, because it doesn't even cost you anything. But yeah, anyways, back in this battle. So they end up having Vigoroth here, and I decided to just bring in Nidorina, but the thing about, like, you know, this is my first time running Nidorina. You know, there's an argument that could be made, like, I could have just probably went straight return here, but at the same time, double Poison Fang will be suffice, and we were going to probably have to take a Bulldoze regardless of what we did there. And they end up having a Ferrothorn in the back, so we already know at this point this will be solid for us. Because we have Scrafty, we're lowering Ferrothorn's defense by 2 stages, it seems like here. And we actually just get the switch out, and yeah, that's going to be game. Nothing that Ferrothorn can do is going to be able to do it without a lot more time and energy. So yeah, that's pretty much a wrap right here. I've been working so much. This is technically my Friday right now. So I'm a little exhausted, but I really wanted to record this because, like I said, these battles are my first impressions of running Nidorina. So that was a 4-1. This is the same day. I did 2 sets, and then I'll show you like a couple sets from Go Battle Day. Yeah, so in this battle, we actually get the Trevenant lead. And again, this is actually not terrible for Cofagrigus if we can predict the Seed Bomb. So obviously, they can kind of farm us down here. I should have switched out. A little bit of a mistake on my end to kind of stay in there and let them get that farm down. But they end up switching in. I found this to be very peculiar. They switched in Stunfisk. And I was like, are they just really weak to Scrafty? Like, that's the only thing that came to mind. They make a great call and bait me with the Rock Slide. But we're just going to throw the Power Up Punches here because we could probably even farm down Trevenant, honestly, with the counter and the boosted counters, excuse me. But we take the Seed Bomb. I actually decided to switch out because I can take a Seed Bomb easily, farm down, and weaken the defenses of whatever is in the back line. So yeah, it ends up being double steal Makes a lot of sense why they did that. Bastiodon had no chance of doing anything against Scrafty. But I was just curious how much a return would do at minus defense, and they shielded it, so I guess we'll never truly know. But yeah, normal poison coverage is horrible. If but it's more about the combo of Poison Fang with return on neutral matchups. That's what makes Nidorina a fun pick. Like, I definitely feel Nidoqueen has more viability, but Nidorina does have certain matchups that Nidoqueen can't pull off as good. Like, obviously, since we're not ground type, we can survive a little bit better, but yo, this was insane. Like, look at this. This is actually fucking crazy. Like, holy shit, I forgot this battle. I actually, oh my gosh, I killed the Bastiodon with a return? Damn, that's actually sick. I completely forgot about that, wow. Anyways, this battle we get an Obscune lead. I suppose I would say, like, a lot of these times I'm using Nidorina as like a safe swap. Like, obviously Scrafty is a way better matchup against Obscune, but we don't want to just... We know that if we switch if we switch in Scrafty there, we're just going to lose our Scrafty. But here, this is another example of a terrible matchup for something like Nidorina, where Nidoqueen could have at least scared with the Earth Power. Ghost Pokemon resist poison moves, and normal moves are even like a higher resistance, because in the normal games is in fact immune. Like, you can't even hit Ghost in normal types with Ghost, and like vice versa. You can't hit a normal Pokemon with Ghost moves, you can't hit a Ghost Pokemon with normal moves. But we make some good calls here, and we lower the defense, and Shadow Claw does do a lot of damage. They end up being Obstagoon double Ghost, so Scrafty was just our strongest player on the team. He was going to be able to handle that match. So GG's. We get ourselves a Galvantula lead in this next battle. Honestly, we're just going to take it. Sometimes, like, even if it's discharge, I felt like, why not? You know, sometimes they're going to throw the lunge there, and if they do, try to sneak in a lunge here on the next one. Okay, this here I felt kind of bad. The lag allowed me to get my move off before them. So they just decided to farm me down because they kind of lost out on that situation. Dude, the lag is messed up. It just completely flips matches at times. So they end up throwing lunge, and I'm not going to shield it. I don't even think I shield the discharge. I just decide, no, we're not going that way right now. In comes Umbreon, and I decided to switch out. So the thing about the Scrafty against Azu, obviously it's not good for us, but when we have 2 shields and they have 0, that's good for us. So look how much damage we're going to rack up here. I do feel like I should have maybe got 2 Power Punch boosts here, but it is kind of a tough call because I do feel, I don't know, it's like the foul plays were actually kind of racking up here. Like, we are, unfortunately they are just throwing play rough, so it's like, yeah, I do feel like potentially I should have just gone double Power Up Punch and started throwing foul plays. I probably could have killed it there, but it doesn't really matter because we have all this energy, and this is... So here, I don't know why I was thinking of trying to go to return. I just should have thrown the Power Up Punch. I mean, the Poison Fang again, excuse me. So I bring in Scrafty and I start using Power Up Punch. Obviously, this could have been really nice to have the -2 defense plus all my attack boost. But what's really going to come down to at this point is, did they switch out Azu with energy? I actually don't think they did. And there you go. It's just game. Yeah, they definitely didn't have enough energy for a move. So regardless of what they did, it was farm down range for Scrafty. So, I mean, still worked out for us in the end. We end up getting a Shadow Victory Bell here on this next battle, and still kind of scary. I mean, Razor Leaf adds up. I mean, we're just a neutral matchup, so even though we're a very bulky Coffin, that's gonna hurt. We end up bringing Nidorina. They bring in their normal Stunfisk. Not a great matchup for us, but we're gonna go straight return here. Will they shield it? They do not. Maybe not the biggest victory, but I find that to be very satisfying. I think I decided to shield here and go for another return to see if they will shield. So I think they end up shielding, and then we're gonna just have to let Nidorina go. Oh wait, they actually try to farm me. So we will be able to get a defense drop here on the Stunfisk. And then I think I just switch into Coffin, because I knew that if I did that, they would throw energy, and we're just kind of using the Coffin as like a third and fourth shield, I suppose. Like we're just using it to waste all of Stunfisk's energy. We're gonna bring in Scrafty, hope to Lord RNGesus that whatever they have in the back, Scrafty can deal with it. And I don't know, you know, sometimes you just gotta take that risk. I knew that I would be able to handle the Victory Bell, even though we take a decent amount of damage from Razor Leaf, and they do end up having a Registeel here in the back. And unfortunately for me, I make that bad call, and I was just gonna get nuked by a Focus Blast. So GG's to them. Alright, so in this next battle, they end up having a Charm Ninetales lead. I always assume they're gonna shield the first one because they don't want to take a Shadow Ball. So I usually make the risk in throwing the Dark move because it will allow us to generate another move faster. It's a little bit less energy to throw Dark Pulse. So at this point now I'm just gonna throw the Shadow Ball, and they do not want to play the mind games, and they end up going down. In comes a Bastiodon. I don't want to switch out here because we have a great matchup in the form of Scrafty. We really just want to deal that damage, and they end up having a Kalos Stunfisk as well. And yeah, that's not horrible for us, honestly, but the way I was viewing this was I probably should have brought in Nidorina here and actually like went for straight returns, because we can take a Mud Bomb or two. But we actually end up playing this extremely weird, and yeah, I brought in Scrafty against the Stunfisk, racked up a bit of damage, and then I bring in Nidorina here, which now they're going to bring in Bastiodon, and I decide this isn't terrible actually, because we get off the Poison Fang, which it is 4 times weak to fighting. So we're going to just take the Flamethrower knowing that we can tank it. And at this point, it's just a matter of farming down. And it's a little scary, but I know that we can easily get the Bastiodon off the field. At this point, with them having no shields, I was actually a little nervous here because I was like, dang, I should have just gone for the foul play. I just got really nervous. But in the end, that ended up being a decent way to end the battle as well. You know, sometimes you just kind of panic. So yeah, here is another 4-1 set. Like, these are the very, very first 10 battles. And I feel like I did pretty decent. You can kind of tell I was like adjusting the stuff. I was playing stuff a little weird. But yeah, I'm going to now bring up 2 sets from Go Battle Night. Alright, so now we're going to look at a couple sets. I don't want to make this video too long. We're going to look at a couple sets here from Go Battle Night. So they had a Scrafty lead. We end up switching the Nidorina, and they bring in Cresselia. So the thing that's interesting about this is Cresselia actually has nothing to hit Nidorina unless it's running Future Sight. Like, Moonblast still chunks a little bit, I suppose, but I mean, we're still doing a lot of damage back, and we're not going to shield at all, and they end up trying to bait with Grass Knot. We're going to go for another return here. Will they shield? They do shield. So we do get 1 shield here on Cresselia. Now I'm going to just throw the Poison Fang because it will lower the defense here and get a little bit of residual damage. And now I'm going to just switch in Cofagrigus, and we're going to tank a move. So they end up bringing the Scrafty again, and I know this seems like bad, but the thing about Scrafty, Shadow Ball actually will chunk still. And yeah, we're just going to stay in. We do have 2 shields. I have a feeling it's going to be foul play, but I decide, you know what, we're just going to let it go. So I bring in Scrafty, probably the worst call there, actually, of the entire battle. I should have, like, I was playing this kind of weird. I should have never switched out, first of all, and I should have not shielded there. And this is exactly why. Because now we have an Azumarill in the back, when, obviously, the counters from Scrafty aren't going to hurt Coffin, and we had shields, and we could have eventually switched into, you know what I mean? We could have done something different at least, even if we messed up earlier. But at this point, this is just going to be a game. There's no way I can pull off the win for this. We are just going to die to a play rough. And yeah, there's really, they make a great call. They're patient. And bye-bye. Alright, so in our next battle, we do get a Ninetales. I think this is Charm. It seems to be the more common one I've been seeing lately. So again, it's the same energy. So it's like I could easily be throwing a Shadow Ball here. We get a shield. It's kind of what I'm trying to do here. We get the shield. We're going to also return a shield right back here. And then we're going to go for the Shadow Ball. That's kind of how I generally play this matchup. And same situation as earlier. They kind of let it go through. We win the lead. Then they have, they actually have a Jellicent, and we were able to just barely get to the Dark Pulse. I should have definitely just thrown Shadow Ball, but I guess because I shielded, it didn't really matter. I bring in Scrafty, and they just leave because they can't really handle the Scrafty with a Whalewin and Jellicent. And they didn't even see the third, so maybe they just didn't want to deal with that. Alright, in our next battle, we were actually Coffin versus Coffin. So the real question is, are they running Dark Pulse or Shadow Ball? This very first turn, we're not really going to know, but obviously we need to shield. They do throw Dark Ball, so this could be a CMP tie, or it could be that I'm just losing the CMP here. With that in mind, I'm going to try to catch a Dark Pulse on Scrafty. So we make a great call, we switch out, bam. But we're also met with a lower Ninetales Charm, which obviously isn't great for us, but we do have a little bit more than half health. Not ideal for us, but we do have Nidorina. So we will bring in Nidorina here, and we're going to go... I don't remember if we throw Poison Fang or not here. I know I can take one Weather Ball, or I decide to. I think I charge up a little bit above 2 and I throw a Poison Fang. Because they will take it. I think we're going to see that... Wait, they don't even bring in... Wait, this is crazy actually. They brought in Scrafty here. So they brought in Scrafty, and I get a return off. Then they switch into Cofagrigus. I feel like they should have just brought in Cofagrigus here. And, I mean, originally, and then I can like farm down because they're a defense drop. I have a Shadow Ball ready for Scrafty, and understand, this is still going to hurt on Scrafty at this point. So yeah, that's game. Yeah, I feel like if they came in on my Nidorina with Cofagrigus, they would have been in a way better situation. Shadow Machamp lead, pretty good for us. They bring in Shadow Victory Bell. We're going to bring in Nidorina here on the Shadow Victory Bell. And Nidorina actually has a pretty decent matchup even against Machamp as well. So here I think I just let it go through. I wasn't really too scared. And it ends up being an Acid Spray, so good call. And then they just top left. GG. So what will happen in our next battle here? We get an Ozumero lead. Not a bad lead for Cofagrigus. We are just going to kind of go straight Shadow Balls here. I don't think it's worth trying to bait, because usually Ozu won't even shield the first one. In comes the Stunfisk. I wish I switched a little bit faster with the Scrafty, but not really terrible, because we honestly don't want to give Ozumero a lot of farm down. It's like we either need to kill this Stunfisk super fast, or we just need to be at very low health whenever Ozu comes in. And taking EQ will actually put us in a nice range where we won't be too high. And I was pretty confident that this would be Rock Slide. And perfect, and, you know, all to plan. We don't have a lot of HP here, and we got rid of the Stunfisk. So we still have the control of the switch. And we're going to throw a Foul Play here, because why not? You know, it's damage. And at this point, I think I do bring in Nidorina. Thinking, if we get rid of Ozu, or even if they switch and we get a Poison Fang off, that's probably more than likely going to be pretty good for Cofagrigus. And we get hit with an Ice Beam. In comes Scrafty. So actually not bad for us, because I can just keep throwing Poison Fangs here, lowering its defense, and even Shadow Claw damage and Shadow Ball will start to hurt a bit. I'm going to just switch in Coffin as kind of like a way means to the end. You know, I can take one foul play for sure. I'm going to throw a Shadow Ball. We will get a shield, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, see how much these Shadow Claws are doing still? Like, that's insane. And I will just let it go now. And I think they throw Power Up Punch, so they end up just killing their Scrafty. Yeah, they can't bait in that situation without dying, unfortunately. They have to throw the foul play. So that is another 4-1 set. Really good battles, but you can kind of tell I'm still figuring out how do you play this team, because it's not exactly the same as you would play Nidoqueen, excuse me, or Nidorino. But okay, in this next set, we get ourselves in a very first battle a Registeel lead. I go straight Shadow Balls here, just trying to chunk as much damage away from this Registeel as we possibly can. We know it's more than likely just going to be Zap Cannon, so there's really no need to shield this first one. We know we can take at least one. And we are going to throw another Shadow Ball here. Will they shield? I don't think they do. And fortunately for us, we are going to just be able to farm down at that point. In comes a Sableye, and I make the bad call. I should have switched out. It's tough because I don't really have a switch necessarily. So that was kind of bad. But then they end up bringing in Ninetales here. So we can actually completely trap this Ninetales with Nidorina. Pretty insane actually how that little play on their end. Like if they stayed in with the Sableye, I feel like it would have been almost better in a way. I don't know. It's like it's not that they need to stay in. They need to just switch out when I throw a foul play or something. But at this point, yeah, like they may have this Sableye behind 2 shields, but even Poison Fang damage at -1 defense is a little scary. And I'm going to try my best to just go for a counter farm down with them at -2 defense. Because look how much damage counter's doing. We're at +1 attack, +2 attack. And yeah, they can't really pull it off. They will not connect a return there if I predict correctly. And I don't even think even if they threw a foul play, I don't think they could get to the return after that in that battle. So we got a Jellicent lead, and they end up switching directly into Ninetales. I'm going to bring in Nidorina here, and great matchup for us. I think we end up I feel like I farm after that first Poison Fang. We do take the Weather Ball, and no, I guess I decide to throw, but I under-tap it. Yeah, I do under-tap, so I do have enough for the Poison Fang on Jellicent when it comes back in, because our Cofagrigus' Shadow Claw damage will start to rack up over time. So yeah, I mean, honestly, when I'm playing a team like this, I would say it's a little bit of a challenge, but there's also a lot of fun to be had with running Poison Fang in combo with Return. Alright, so they end up switching in Obstagoon, and again, we're hard countering them. Like, our team is just like straight up hard countering whatever they're switching to. So yeah, they end up just top lefting. I don't blame them, GG. I mean, let's see what our next battle is. Nidoqueen. So Nidoqueen is an interesting Pokemon against Cofagrigus. The only real move that is threatening is Earth Power, but if we mispredict the Poison Fang Earth Power, it could be devastating. But I decide, you know, I'm just going to let it go through. We got a shield. I'm okay with that. And they end up making a switch and catching our Dark Pulse on Umbreon. So I'm going to decide to just bring in the Scrafty, and knowing that we don't really need to shield against Umbreon, and we can try to build up energy here for when we're inevitably going to be seeing Nidoqueen. So we're going to save these shields. We're going to take these last resorts. We're at +1 attack currently, which is pretty good to threaten with foul plays. And yeah, we're just taking these last resorts, going for that farm down. And we're going to throw the foul play immediately, I think, when Nidoqueen comes back in. And yeah, we have, if I'm not mistaken, that is 2 foul plays. So they do shield. Yeah, and we have it back to back, so they don't even accomplish anything with Nidoqueen here. And it just goes down. Well, they switch it out with 1 HP. They bring in Mandibuzz. And this is a matchup where Nidorina actually shines on. Like Nidoqueen can kind of like farm down a bit with Poison Fang and Poison Jab damage, but in this matchup, you can actually return, like Poison Fang, return it. I mean, even with that combo, Mandibuzz will still kind of live a bit, but yeah, you can still outpace it in damage, so GG's. Alright, so we get a Trevenant lead. Again, this is a tough one. It's a matter of like double shielding or like predicting. Like, I decided to shield the first move, and it is a Seed Bomb. Probably the worst thing we could probably shield. Like, I'd almost rather just take a Seed Bomb and try to switch out and get their shield. But now we're kind of just trading shields here. And fortunately for us, they do end up throwing a Shadow Ball there. So I decided to just farm down and save my energy, because I assumed they were probably just going to let Trevenant go there. And I ended up making a switch to Nidorina and saving Copagrigus with energy. And they end up staying in with Azu. So I was like, wait, is this bad for me that they're staying in? So I throw the Poison Fang, and yeah, they just stay in. I wasn't really sure if I just made a mistake, and that I was going to get like hit with a Charmer here in the back line. But we'll find out together. But as of right now, I think I can live another Ice Beam. And it is, in fact, it's actually a Stunfisk. So I have no idea why they didn't switch in Stunfisk on Nidorina. Maybe they didn't know what its moveset was. But yeah, Stunfisk completely wall. Like a Steel type or a Ghost type are going to wall Nidorina entirely. But yeah, this is good for us. We don't even like mess around. We just throw that Foul Play, and yeah, we're gonna throw another Foul Play here on the Azu. And keep in mind, we still have energy on Copagrigus. But yeah, it's game. I think I even just bring in Nidorina and farm down with Poison Sting here. Yeah, we didn't even need the energy on Copagrigus. All right, GG's. So yeah, in this next battle, we get a Shadow Swampert lead. Again, the Swamperts can be scary for sure if we let it get out of control. So I'm going to throw a Dark Pulse, and they do shield the first one. I think I'm going to take the first Hydro. Oh, they end up throwing Earthquake, which honestly, great call on their end. Completely caught me off guard and blew up my Copagrigus. And I'm going to just take the first Hydro Cannon here. They end up bringing in Mandibuzz, and I'm going to switch in Nidorina here after getting a little bit of energy on Scrafty. So my hopes are, you know, hopefully we can deal with the back line. But yeah, right now, like I was saying a little bit earlier, Mandibuzz isn't a terrible matchup here for Nidorina. We're a little bulky, and now I'm going to go for a return with its defenses down. And how much damage will this do? It does a decent amount of damage. I think it does like 50 or something. I don't know. Well, maybe a little bit more than that. But yeah, we're going to try, I think, at this point to just kind of farm it and keep all the energy. And I think when Swampert comes in, we actually go for return. And I was a little nervous because, like, Swampert is actually kind of scary to this line, but they do not shield at all. And again, this is not that great. I mean, they have a Medicham here. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be GG's for me, because I do throw the Power Up Punch, hoping to get like a boosted Foul Play off here. But I don't think it's going to be enough damage. Actually, I don't know. It's at minus defense. Oh yeah, I can't even get to the Foul Play. So yeah, that's just game. If I could have got to the Foul Play, I think maybe. But yeah, I was just too low of health with Scrafty. But yeah, good game. The Swamperts, I think the Swampert just had such a great call there in the beginning too, you know, throwing Earthquake, wasn't even trying to bait. Because a lot of times, I feel like you see Swampert running Sludge Wave. Anyways, GG's everyone. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you got this far in the video, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. I am a little low energy right now, and I appreciate you sticking in through it. But yeah, Nidorina, a little spicy. Again, the ground typing on Nidoqueen is really good in regards to offensive typing wise. But yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun trying out Nidorina. I hope you enjoyed these battles. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, the Sass Squad's getting stronger each and every day. But good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you're tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one.